so much for tuning in to Sister Talk with LTB. I am so excited. My sisters are excited. I just want to get right into it. So I'm going to introduce myself. I am Brittany, 1/3 of the show. And these are my lovely sisters. Say hi, sisters.
Hi.
So let's talk about real quick what Sister Talk with LTB is about. So basically, what I call is our mission statement. So we want to make sure we engage you. What you laughing at?
How you gonna just laugh like that?
Our mission statement is to engage you in sassy conversation. And as you can see, my sisters are very sassy. So we will be bringing all three personalities to the show. So get ready.
All the sass.
Right? All the sass. We also want to make sure we empower you. So, if you got a goal out there that you're going for, do it. We're definitely going to empower you. And also we want to encourage you. So whatever that looks like for you, encourage you to take that phone call, encourage you to go for that job, encourage you to go on that date, whatever it may be. That's what we want to do. So that's what we're about. Definitely going to be full of laughs, giggles, crazy stuff. So I hope y'all ready for the ride, because if you're not, I don't know. All right. So look, this is what we're about to do though. So we talked about our mission statement, which I call the 3 E's. So really quick, I'm just going to introduce them one by one. So we'll start with you, Miss Latanisha, aka Nisha. So this is our big sister. Hey.
Hello.
And then also we got the little baby, Miss Tiara. Don't let the cute smile fool you, y'all. Don't let the cute smile fool you.
She got sass, pizzazz, and everything else.
Probably the most sassiest. Okay. So yeah, that's who we are. We are real sisters. These are my blood sisters. And I'm just really happy that, we came together to do this. So I know you guys will enjoy. And let's just get right into it. So today we are going to talk about a topic called code switching, right? So when I first heard code switching, I'm like, what in the heck is that? I don't know anything about a code. What is that, right? So
I had the totally wrong definition of it. So
the conversation though was like, what? I'm coming up with my own things of code switching. When I hear code switching, I think a whole bunch of other things. But the Google definition of code switching is the practice of alternating between two or more languages or varieties of language in conversation. Okay, so what does that mean? What do you think when we say code switching? I know y'all don't know. That's okay, because we're going to play a video. So I want you guys to just take a look at this snippet really quick. It's going to kind of explain more about what code switching is, what we mean by we say we quote unquote code switch. So go ahead and check that out real quick.
And here it's really poor young African-American children. And the reason why I want to say that is because what you have is a case where oftentimes middle-class African-American children can code switch.
And it's not just middle-class African-American children.
I wanted to address the mandates I put in place of restricting in-person dining and activities that require you to remove your mask. Shorty, pull your mask up, man. People dying, Shorty. Stand, hold tight for a second.
You can hear the change in how the Baltimore mayor addresses the press.
I wanted to address the mandates I put in place
compared to how he's speaking with someone in his community.
People dying, Shorty.
That's what we call code switching. It's going from one language to another or one dialect to another.
Nice to meet you.
So as a content creator on TikTok, it's unfortunately, there are many ways that they try to put you in a box or put you under a certain trope. Of course, me, with my personality, it's the sassy Black girl, or I could be the clapback girl, or I can be the super educator.
Nicole says mislabeling African American words and phrases simply as internet stan culture erases Black people from the expressive forms they've created in the US over centuries.
For the people that email me and text me and message me, can they say certain phrases? I always say, you're asking how to use certain words and why can you or can't you use certain words, but you're not asking me how to make it better in my life as a Black person, and this is my culture that you're trying to use in the first place.
I'ma handle
The language you hear on popular Netflix shows and TikTok is actually a representation and a way of living for so many Black Americans. It's history.
And there's something really beautiful about the expression of African American English by its speakers. It's alive. It is explicit. It's indirect. It has all of these wonderful aspects. And so it gets preserved just by being, just by living, just by experiencing, just by expressing who we are. And so it's inevitable. And, I just think this is such a language that has so much life. And as long as there is life in us, it will continue to be produced.
All right, guys. So we just watched the video. We watched it with you guys. There was a lot of things that I learned myself about code switching, things that I definitely feel like I have done. So let's just open up right, exactly. So let's talk about it. So what do you guys think? Like, has there been a time where you felt like, yeah, I was kind of code switching, real talk, but we're gonna keep it on the low? Like, what do y'all think?
To me, I feel like everybody's definition of code switching could be different. It's just a simple fact for me of switching your vocabulary or your vernacular to fit a certain audience or feeling like you can't be 100% authentically yourself around every race or every body in your life. So an example for code switching for me would be, a pretty general example would be, if you ever met a preacher, right? They got the preaching voice. So they got a preaching voice, right? Oh, you got a preaching voice, that's cool. But then when they go to dinner, they code switch instantly. You know what I'm saying? Or they may still be at dinner with the church people and they're saying, and I would order I'm gonna order a steak. And does that come with the potatoes and the broccoli as well? And you know what? Goodness. And I would love,
not the
But then when they're around their family, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get ghetto with you. Yeah. Like, woo, 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 woo. Or I don't want to say all the examples, but more so specifically the video is talking about African American language and how other races act as though if I leave the G off of feeling, and I say I'm feeling like, and then they assume that they don't know what I'm talking about because I left the G off. Come on now, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm finna get up out of here.
You know what I'm talking about. They're like, huh? What do you mean by that? What's going on? Don't make me feel as though I'm speaking a language that's so far from yours.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's like the main part for me. Don't try to make me feel uncomfortable by the way I speak, or if I put my words in a different order than you do, when you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So for me, code switching is not more so of a language. It's your behavior, your body action. You can get around a certain crowd of people and just try to fit in with the crowd and just want to act the way that they do. For example, you know you ain't talking with your hands all the time. You might get around a certain throwing up gang signs and stuff, you know, but you may get around a certain type of people and then begin to like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, you all loud and stuff, and your friends looking at you like, girl, you know, you ain't even acting
Like,
like
who is
that.
this person?
Who are you?
Where do you
Who are you,
right?
like, what? You know, so for me, it's more than just a language. It's
Mhm.
more so a behavior as well. But I do like Sierra and the emphasis on the preacher, you know, potatoes. Like, what? Right.
So do you feel like you have switched the code? Like, can you give an example of where you've done it? And I know that it's something that we can do subconsciously, but at the same time, you know, we be knowing what we're doing too. So give us an example, because we've all done it. So,
Absolutely.
you know, what's an example of where, you know, you, now that you really got into what code switching is, when have you done that and you like just had to check yourself like, now hold on, girl, you done switch the code?
Since I think of it as a behavior, I know I have went out with a set of ladies and the drink menu comes around and everybody wants to order popping water. And I'm looking at them like, I want a glass of wine. Okay. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, we are all adults and we're sitting here having great conversation. Why can't we have a glass of wine? Like, it's just a glass of wine. And then what I do, order some coffee. Coffee, yeah. Like,
you ain't even want no coffee.
I didn't even want coffee. I've done that several times, and then when it's over with, I'm mad. Like, I'm going to the store, to the grocery store to buy me a bottle of wine.
And you gonna get you some wine?
Yes. But in that, you know, when you around certain people, you like, oh, I gotta act a certain way. I don't want them to be looking at me like I'm the crazy one.
Yeah, I agree. I actually have had an experience with switching the code in, you know, the workplace, and I'll never forget. And I'm really happy that we, you know, we talked about this topic, because I remember when I was interviewing for my current job, and talk about switching the code. You hear me? But my interviewer called me out on it. And he was just like, this is a place where we want you to bring your authentic self. And he said to me, I'm not trying to offend you, but if this is not you, I would prefer you show me who you are. That's what's going to get you this job. And when he told me that, I was like, oh, you know, because at first I'm like, no, he playing with me right now. He's trying to trick me, but I need this job. So let me go ahead and show him who I am. And, you know, I really let my guard down at that point, and I was myself, you know, and I did get the job. And, you know, like I said, when Tierra brought up the, you know, what we were going to talk about for this episode, I'm like, okay, I got a situation where I switched the code up a bit. So it's definitely something that we do more often than we probably would like to admit. And even like you said, with the behavior, you know, there's been plenty of times when I've hung out with a group of people who maybe they weren't from where I'm from, or maybe it was a new set of people. And, you know, we try to say, like, you know, we don't want to impress people, but we do. We do. Right. And we do certain things that we think will impress them. And that does come with the whole behavior about. So yeah, we all been there before. What about you, Tierra? Have you had a situation where you switched the code up?
Not at all. I'm just, you know, gang activity all the time. Not just playing.
Gang.
No, but to be quite honest, Um, I feel as though workplace, yes. Also, I am a part of youth youth group, I should say. And actually, I am over the youth group. No slander, so I'm not feeling no type of way saying this. But when I first started with them, I don't drink anymore and I don't smoke anymore, and that's because of my own personal preference. I used to be cutting up a lot, so I decided to let that part of my life go. However, when I was with the young people, I still spoke, the same way. I speak with a lot of slang.
She
And
agrees with you.
I very well, like, I relate to the youth so much because of how I talk, how I walk, how I act. You know what I mean? And I really keep it raw and transparent with them. But when it came to their parents, okay, meeting with their parents, I switched the code 100% because the kids like me. You know what I mean? And as being a new parent now, I understand where the parents, where they came from. Like, okay, well, we kind of know what we want to know what you about. We letting our kids come to these hangout sessions and they're talking to you and they're using you as wise counsel. So, we want to know what you're like. So with some of the parents, I was 100% myself because they knew me. They grew up with me. They knew everything about me from a little kid. And then some of them who did not know much about me or they seemed to be very strict with their children, I was like, absolutely not. Brother so and so and sister. Oh, we would never, you know what I mean? Or if she ever, oh no, 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 no. You know what I mean? And I would also like, I would be like real live. I wouldn't say I was lying, but I would just be like trying to speak in
Animated.
a way that, really made me seem very intelligent or seem intelligent or trustworthy or, you know what I mean? Or not irresponsible because sometimes
Right.
people identify those things with the way that you speak or the way that and it can't even
Mhm.
it's not even the way that you carry yourself because I always carry myself with very high standards and chin up, no, I won't say nose up, but chin up, um
Mm. Mm.
and
Oh no.
just very like put together, you know what I'm saying? And so because of that, like it was just like, okay, this is the only part of me that I can really finagle. You get what I'm saying? Because I am being so transparent. I just want to say, yes, I'm being transparent. However, I'm gonna speak like this at all times. I'm gonna pronounce all of the syllables in the word, okay? Because I heard them, I see them, I can read
I
well.
heard that.
Amen. So
Amen.
that's definitely one big, big, big portion outside of work, because work definitely.
Have you
Okay.
ever, you just said something about the youth here. Have the
Hmm.
youth ever seen you code switch like and been like, Miss T, what you doing? Why
That's
you
good.
sound
That's
like
good.
that? What?
That's good.
Huh?
actually, actually, you will be so surprised to see that, like, as young Black people specifically, they already know that they got a code switch, or that they're
Right.
probably going to code switch at some point, or they've already done it, seen their parents do it. You know what I mean? Or seeing somebody in their house do it, their family do it. They may have felt like they even had to do it at school. It's a couple of the girls that go to private schools and they kind of feel like they have to be more of like, you know, a little bit different than how they really are with their family and their friends when they go and they are standing in front of these teachers that want to say their honors and uh
Mhm.
you know, and they got certain GPAs and they're like, okay, I'm sitting up like this and I'm fully engaged. And you know what I mean? So unfortunately, I feel like it's something that is already taught to our kids from them watching
Mm-hmm.
us as
Right.
individuals already. So they haven't called me out on it. Not that I can recall. Now they will call me out on something like, you said we was going somewhere and we ain't went nowhere yet. We supposed to go do something. So
I had a young lady call me out on it one day. I was at a school, you know, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I was at a school and, you know, I was doing a program. And so we sitting there eating lunch and we just talking. And everything was cool. You know, we sitting there, we talking, just wrapping it up. And so the principal walked in. And so I was like, hello, how are you? And so when she walked out, one of the girls was like, Miss Nisha, what you tripping on? Why you let her intimidate you like that? I was like, what you talking about? She was like, did y'all see how Miss Nisha was acting? She straightened all up and it was, hi, how are you doing? Pronunciating all of her words. I was like, girl, like that is your principal. She's like, she human just like you. So I mean, you know, we gotta watch that though. I understand that it is like something common and it's unfortunate that the youth is looking at us and they seeing us do it, and so then they begin to do it. But why can't we just be ourselves, you know?
Right.
that's
Right.
that's the thing right there. Like that is it right there. Like I know my god brother, we were listening to this preacher, it's a woman preacher, and everybody was saying like, oh,
Uh-oh.
she's so ghetto. And he was like, if you ever preach, that's how you're gonna preach. Just like that. And I was like, she just being herself though. So it's like she was saying like, you know, giving her metaphors, and her metaphors were not no extra like, and Peter was walking across the water, you know. She was just straight up like, God told Peter to walk across the water. He was tripping, okay? He started looking everywhere else instead of focusing on what he should be focusing on.
That's real
And
though.
and but you gotta realize that sometimes, I know I watched this other podcast, um and the black guy on there, he's like, I had to realize that my content and who I am, it's just not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
That's real.
And I understand that sometimes in order for us to get to a certain place or a certain level, sometimes we may have to code switch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once we get to that place, we're making it so that the people that come behind us don't have to.
Have to. Yeah.
You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And that was going to be my question, though, which you guys kind of already answered it. You know, do you feel like code switching sometimes is necessary? Because I personally, Nisha, have seen you code switch, but it
Dang,
was
I got
so
called out
necessary.
again. I
No,
got called
seriously.
out again.
It was necessary though. So it was at one of your banquets before we had to do the virtual one. And I was really proud of her though. I was proud that my sister code switched. She switched the
Mhm.
code and I was proud of her. But I feel like it is necessary. You know what I mean? Especially in an event like that, you know, and girl, you switched that code, baby. You did that. But it was so necessary. So on one hand, we have it to where code switching is necessary sometimes, but then we're also like, well, how come we can't be ourselves? So like, where do we meet in the middle?
So I have a question though before we go to that. Where do we meet in the middle? So in regards to our vocabulary, our slang, our pizzazz that we put on words, I should say, how do you feel about people of other cultures using using those words that if we use them in a certain setting, it's it's just unprofessional or what have you. Do you ever feel offended by somebody trying to use a word? They don't know what it means. They don't use it in their everyday life, but then they come up to you and say, "Oh, girl, that was lit," and you like, "Okay, Susie," you know, or
go ahead, Chile. Go ahead, Chile.
Right.
Go ahead, Chile.
I wouldn't be offended. That wouldn't offend me. At the end of the day, you the one that might be looking a little special, especially if you're not saying it correctly. Like I personally wouldn't be offended if somebody came up to me and was like, "Yo, that was lit." Cool.
No.
It was lit. I like, all right, bet. I hope somebody comes and say this show is lit. I'm cool with that. I don't feel like I would be offended. I wouldn't be offended by it, unless someone is trying to disrespect me or someone trying to imitate me in a disrespectful way. Then okay, we got to have a conversation because what you doing?
I mean, but in that sense, would they be code switching, trying to appeal to a certain audience that's not really their audience? Like,
I mean,
be
possibly. If it's someone that I don't know, then I can't really say whether or not they're code switching. But if it's someone that I hang out with on a regular, hey, someone I hang out with on the regular, and this is not how you normally act, then all right, you switching the code a bit. What's going on? We might have a conversation in the bathroom later. Like, what's up?
But not in the bathroom. You about to show enough chin check somebody.
Don't you when you go to a party with your friends, don't y'all like kind of congregate in the bathroom for a little bit, like make sure your makeup good, have a little conversation. We gonna talk about you switching the code right quick in the bathroom because that wasn't called for. But yeah, no, as long as they're not like purposely trying to disrespect me, I don't really care because honestly, I'm booked and busy. I don't have time. So
period.
It is what it is. What about you, Nisha?
No, I don't care. Like you said.
We know you booked and busy.
You know what?
All the job.
Here we go. We gonna do this right now. But like I've been saying, I don't really care. It's like, like Brittany said, especially if they looking goofy. If you ain't using it in the right sense, like, huh? What are you saying? Okay.
Right.
So, it's up to I don't care. I just don't care.
So I mean,
should we call them out?
I don't think I would be right.
Should we call them out? Should we be like, hey, you don't even know what that means. What you doing saying that?
If it's someone you know and you're comfortable with them, then yeah, like who you trying to impress right now? What's going on? I would definitely say something, but I mean I wouldn't be offended. It is what it is. Like maybe you should tone that down a little bit.
Or maybe look, you don't even have to say that to me.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to say that to me.
You don't have to talk to me that way. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
We're still friends. But don't code switch. Don't code switch in the process of telling them that they code switch it up.
Or they say, it's the podcast for me.
Wowzers. I mean,
Yeah,
No, but
but
yeah,
So where do we meet at in the middle, like you said?
I don't know because I'm gonna be real with you. What I do at work, I'm a retention specialist. I'm trying to get people to stay with me. So I gotta switch it up with every different customer. And I have
Wow.
some that are like, I have some of those doctors, lawyers, judges. I gotta be on my P's and Q's, but then sometimes I'll get someone who's maybe around my age group. We may have something in common. So I'm gonna have like a common conversation with you, something to engage you, so I can keep you staying with this company. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I said, in some cases it is necessary. Because at the end of the day, I gotta make sure I'm hitting no numbers. You know what I'm saying? So
All about the bag.
I think that
okay.
I think that use the resources you have. Okay. If one of your resources is code switching, use it as a resource. Use it as a resource.
It's
Okay.
a tool. It's a tool.
Yes.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
and I
And it's a
completely
gift.
agree. I agree 100% with what Brittany said, especially with the job that I do as well.
Mhm.
People, they gotta trust you. They giving you all their information, and we're over the phone. We are not face to face. You know what I mean? And whatever makes you feel more comfortable with me is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do during that time.
Yeah.
Now at 4:30, 4:30, the authentic tea era is coming out and Eden apparently. So
We love them. The authentic era in Eden.
yes.
So
So
can we really meet anywhere in the middle though? Like, is
I
that
don't think we
even?
can.
I don't think so either.
not
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think so. Not until it's a majority of us in the places that we're trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And not saying that because of the way that really being able to identify that the way that you speak does not directly relate to your knowledge
Right.
Mm-hmm.
or your
Or your
intellect
livelihood. Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yeah.
Like you could have a master's degree, PhD, and I've seen people who have those credentials who also code switch. And when they are around their friends and their family, they getting gutter. Okay. And then
They turn it
when
up.
they go
They
when
turn it
they go
up.
back in, yes, when they go back to their job, I know one of um one of them, okay, cool dude, real cool dude, okay. Be kicking it straight up. You know what I mean? When he have his, and he's also, he also represents people. So when he represents certain people, that's the energy he has. But when he up
Mm-hmm.
there and he gotta, make judgment calls and things like that, believe me when I tell you, pronunciating every word, and he carries himself in a certain way on there and at work and off of work. However, it's just you could tell that language changes, that dialogue it changes. So I mean, like I said, do what you gotta do.
Mm.
I feel it.
Unfortunately.
Mm, I feel it though. If you pronounce the L in salmon, then
Right.
pronounce that
Pronounce that
L.
L in seven.
Don't get around somebody else and
I hate
start
that
Dang.
saying
so
it
bad
right.
though.
He said
I hate
salmon.
that so bad.
I'm just
I'd be like, it's
saying
salmon.
Salmon.
that does get under my skin. I'm not even gonna lie about that because my boyfriend. I'm sorry, baby, but my boyfriend pronounces the L, and I just be like,
What? Wait a minute. Say it. Just say it.
He
Salmon.
say salmon. And
It's
I'm just like, sir. And like, he just feels like
salmon.
the L is there for a reason. No, it's silent. It's salmon. Stop saying, and then he be like, salmon. Stop saying that. That's not right.
I
But
had
you know what?
So
I'm gonna stop getting on him because if that's how you pronounce it, then do you? Do
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
you
rocking
pronounce
back and
that?
forth.
That's okay. We know
Um.
you got a baby.
So, did you guys get a chance to kind of like um find out, or from the another video that we watched, the history was behind like African American language and why we actually speak the way that we do?
I did
Yeah. So yeah,
not.
the video did kind of go into that, but why don't you tell us about it?
Why did you tell us about it? Well, you know how we came here, how most of our ancestors got here. And I was expressing this to my mother before. Honestly, I got mixed feelings about it. About how they came over with a certain language already, whatever language they spoke, whether it was Swahili, French, whatever other type of language they were speaking when they were in Africa. And then they came here. And so when they came here, the way that they learned English was only by listening to what, you know, other people were saying. So because they didn't have direct relationships with these quote unquote teachers that they were learning from, they had to just take the words and put them together the best way that they could in order to communicate
Mhm.
with both slaves as well as um, their masters at that time. Um, for me, I feel two types of ways about that because I kind of feel like, and it is Black History Month, I kind of feel like I'm disappointed in our ancestors because they came over with their own language, you know? We could have kept that language alive amongst ourselves instead of
Mhm.
completely submitting the way that we did. However, I was not there. You know, I don't know all of the struggles and all of the things that they went through during that time, which of course none of us really do. However,
Right.
that would have been so cool. You know, like how sometimes we walk into stores and I know that this is a stereotype, but when we go into the nail salon and we're getting our nails done, or we're going to beauty supply stores and we hear other people speak their language and fluently, or their native language, you know what I mean? As opposed to us, we only well, I only speak English. I can't speak for nobody else. I only speak English. So
Me too. Me too, sis. Me too.
so
Well, myself, I am fluent in a few different languages, so we'll talk about that on another show.
okay. Got the TP sign. I speak in tongues.
All right, that works.
Fire! Fire!
That works. I mean, yeah. All right. I only
No, but
speak
how do
in.
y'all feel about that? About that portion of it? Like just the thought of like that would have been so good. That would have been extra cool.
Well, first, Eden would like to tell us how she feels.
Right. Because clearly she has a
But
thought. She has a
no,
word in
I
her
think,
mouth.
She got
In her
something to
mouth.
say.
yeah, I do. I think that definitely would have been, raw, as you say. I mean, but it's like, what can we do? You
Right.
know, what can we do? But I'm gonna continue to say sis and lit and whatever else we say nowadays. I'm kind of old. I really don't know the slang of these younger children. I don't know, but
It,
I
right, because are we still saying we the bomb? We don't say that no more, do we?
We don't.
Nah.
First of all, y'all really showing y'all age right now. Okay. Y'all really
Well, we
showing y'all
gonna
age
still
right now.
say it, Nisha. Me and Nisha still gonna say we the bomb.
You can't. It's against the law for you to say it. You can't say it. I can. You can't. Okay.
Well, then I'm not too much further behind you. But what about like we can't say like that's tight. Nobody says that anymore. No, because I used to be like, oh yeah, that's tight. We can't say that no more. I don't even know what you're saying, T. So, but no, okay. I guess nobody says that. All right. Well, I'm gonna just stick to what
I don't
been
know.
saying.
I don't know. What y'all? I ain't even.
You the baby.
Listen, I ain't even got all of the slang that they using now, but I know that they ain't saying that. I know that for sure. You can say period.
Period. Boo.
It's poo. It's poo.
No, Nisha's is boo. Okay.
Oh, okay. She told
period.
me.
Okay.
I thought it was period sis. Period sis.
No, that's just
why don't
we're
it say
talking,
period?
but
Like,
it's
period. That's the end of the conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, period.
So we just gotta say period. No, I don't. That just don't sound right to me. Period. Boo.
No, you don't. You gotta say period. You gotta get the D and the T in there.
I don't think you're supposed to put the D in there.
But I think you might.
First of all,
okay.
y'all.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that on another show. We gonna have to get caught up because obviously me and Nisha don't. We out the loop, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's so funny.
Hold on, y'all.
So what y'all think? Y'all about to be out here code switching? I mean, I am. I'm a code switch. As a matter of fact, when I'm with y'all, the next time I'm with y'all, I'm switching the code.
Oh no. So it's gonna be like that. All that.
Okay.
You just switched
I think that this was a really good episode. How y'all feel about that?
I mean, yeah, we can go ahead and wrap up. Like, I think we got our point across about code switching. We had a little history lesson about certain things. Yes. So, Nisha, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
And, well, we would like to thank you all for tuning in. Okay. We hope that we have engaged you in some wonderful conversation, encouraged you to the next level, and empowered you to be your genuine self. Try not to code switch. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even YouTube. Just remember Sister Talk LTB. Sisters, do y'all have anything else y'all want to say?
I got one more thing. We do want to open our platform up to our viewers for questions, comments, or even things that you want to see us talk about. So you can email us. We actually have been getting emails, sisters. I decided to let you on the show.
Ain't that something?
So you can email us at sistertalkwithltb@gmail.com or Outlook, whichever one you want to go with. It's up to you. But yes, send us questions you may have. If you want to talk more about code switching, hit us up. If you have suggestions on what we should talk about on our next shows, or also if you would like your business to get a shout out on any of our pages. So just hit us up. Once again, sistertalkwithltb@gmail.com or outlook.com, whichever one works better for you. Tiara, anything?
I don't got nothing else to say. All right, it's on with y'all on the gang. And all of the slang words that I ever knew, I'm saying them right now. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Good.
All right, y'all. Till next time. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy your day, week, weekend, whatever works.
Comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, that. She's smart. We will see you on our next show. Take care.
Then the principal
Hold
walks
on. You hear that sound?
I don't hear anything.
Like that
It's
beeping.
like yeah.
It's Nisha.
If it's something in the background, that is Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, that is what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm about to. What to do?
That is Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, the TV. My husband is watching Wheel of Fortune. I would tell him to turn the TV down.
She said, "My husband's watching Wheel of Fortune."
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah,
use that? That is
what?
funny. My husband.
We can use it at the end. We can use it at the end like a blooper.
Yeah,
like a blooper.
Bloopers
Yeah.
are cool. She's so silly. That was really cute.
Okay.
My husband. That's how I'm gonna be. You see my husband. He's over there watching the TV. Okay.
She
Give me
did
just
put
a
emphasis
second.
on hers. My husband. Like, all right, sis, we get it.
I did not sound like that.
One day for us. One day for us.
Right.
Whatever.
That's right. You better say my husband.